Jerod Maye meeting with the media yesterday, Zoe, and leaving the door open for Drake Maye to potentially start here week one if he looks good in camp.
Who's that brought to you by? Beantown? Was
Beantown Home Improvement,
Did Kevin Weeks build that company or something? is Beantown Home Improvement? I haven't heard Beantown in a while. But glad they're with us. I hear a different tone with Jerod there when talking about him. Now, I think when you talk about pro ready doesn't mean you watch on the field like, I think we could go out there and say, oh, wow, Drake Maye looks a lot better than Jacoby did out there on the field.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to get caught up with the way he used to call offense and progressions in college and high school. It's the first time he's ever called a play in a huddle. That's the pro-ready stuff of handling the clock, handling the noise, handling the play clock. Am I looking at the sideline? Am I understanding the personnel groupings? Am I watching the defense, their substitution patterns? Can I call the play? Can I function? They're talking about functioning. Drake Maye has to come out here and prove he can function. And I'm talking game situations, blitz periods. They're going to crank the noise up. And do you remember I've talked about this with Tim, the NFL video of John Gruden with Chris Sims.
Yes.
Chris Sims was a Buccaneer. And he would call the spider, whatever, to Chris, call it, tag Y. Chris couldn't get the play out. John's like, God dang it, call it like this. And he still couldn't get it. Then Gruden had to call the play. And then they broke the huddle. He's like, can't play if you can't call the play. Like, that's the stuff they're going to be looking for. That's what they really got to have Drake Maye up and running and polished with is, just the whole functionality of everything. That's why, I'm going to be excited to watch how hard he can throw, what's his feet look like. His feet we're going to be talking about a lot throughout camp, if those things settle down. But it's just a whole, hey, I own the whole practice. I own the day. That comfort level where they got to see that as a staff. They're not going to plan. Because you go out there and you feel like you got chicken with your head cut off. You don't know what you're doing. He's got to prove he knows what he's doing.
Well, and that's what it's going to come down to, right? Because physically, he should be out on this field and should pop in a way that
he should look better than Jacoby.
Right?
He's the third pick, okay? Yeah. And if he doesn't, then they blew the pick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's reality. Jacoby is a really good professional quarterback, a journeyman that could live a long time in this league doing it. I did it. I know what it is. But when Bledsoe throws, it's different to me.
Yeah.
When you see Drake Maye throw, it should look a lot different than Jacoby and his big, long windup. I remember when Tom was here and Jimmy was here and Jacoby was here. Jacoby looked long and drawn out, but Jimmy looked like that dart he would throw for his chest. Jimmy looked like more of a gamer.
Yeah.
He had crap practices, turned the ball over, but when he got under the game lights in preseason, like, holy crap, this kid can play. I never felt that way with Jacoby, felt that way with Jimmy. You know how I felt about Tom. But Tom, the ball never hit the ground. That's why you get frustrated from the Mac Jones, Cam Newton era after Tom, post-Tom, Stidham, or whoever you wanted to put in there. Tom's balls never hit the ground in practice. These guys have balls spraying everywhere. That's a problem.
Here's the one thing that has me excited about Jerod Maye's comments yesterday, if we take them at face value, is that it's not going to be something where they're protecting Drake Maye because the offensive line doesn't look right or the receivers aren't up to put. He says it's going to be the best quarterback that winds up playing here, which I think is the approach that they should take. You should not be hiding Drake Maye just because you don't feel great about the offensive line.
Correct.
And that, to me, is a positive here, too, that Drake Maye can go out and actually win this job, and they're not going to hold him back just because the rest of the talent on the roster isn't up to par yet.
Yeah, you've been on a lot with the afternoon show, the 2 to 6 show.
The 2 to 6.
And they're big on, well, it's not a big deal sitting him. And they would give the numbers, the Peyton Manning numbers. Hey, he was 3-13. Aikman got his ass kicked year one. Elway was a 50% thrower. How do you think those guys ever got better? It's from playing in those crap games that eventually Peyton in year 3 would know, oh, shoot, man, I can't go back to what I did when I was a rookie and had that stupid stretch. You learn from your mistakes. The great ones learn from their mistakes. He's going to go out there and play like crap. You got to let him play like crap. You got to let him play through that. And you can't understand it and learn it unless you play. That's my point. I wanted to play week 1. You pick a guy third, you play. That's a plug-and-play player. You're not in a state where you have a luxury pick. This isn't the Patriots selecting a guy who's got knee surgeries from University of Florida because you were the undefeated team that year, and we're going to draft him in the first round. That's a luxury pick. Drake Maye is not a luxury pick. It is a need pick. It is a massive need pick. We're still sitting here 5 years after the departure of Tom Brady, still looking for the guy that's going to replace him. And we don't know if it's Maye. But if it's not Maye, then that's a really bad pick they had.
I also think based on everybody they re-signed, guys they brought back, that says to me that they're going to play the guy that is the best quarterback for the team. I mean, that's what I feel like those players will want. You'll have to ask them. We'll have to ask them who's the best quarterback for the team. But let me ask Zoe this quarterback question, because obviously you're talking about figuring it out, calling the plays, all those intricacies outside of just the physical tools. What do you think? How does the process go in terms of evaluating that type of thing? Pre-draft and before you make the selection, can he call the plays? Can he handle an NFL huddle? All those things versus what you do working with him after the draft. Do they have a sense, I guess the question is, that he'll be able to figure it out before they even picked him?
He should. Now, I say, okay, he never called a play in the huddle. So, I go back to that hard knock stuff with Dayball.
Yep.
I was very impressed with that. Because he gave me that. That's our old offense, so that's what we ran. Now, I ran a couple different offenses, and terminology is very different. But Dayball given, we're gonna call this gun dolphin right. He goes, okay, gun dolphin right. And what's the 2 tag routes? We're going tundra, it's 200s, and we're going float, flag with an out. Now he called it a corner. He goes, yeah, but we call flag, so you get the concept. Protection 72. We're gonna go Rita Linda to the will. He goes, okay, got it, easy peasy. What's the H doing? It's an H angle. So it tells you. So what it does, it tells him, here's my formation. Here's a protection. I got to set that. I got to set to the will. Then I got my 2 tag routes, and then I got my H coming out on the angle. So right there, he's processing. So right there, just from that 1 5-minute little sit down with Dayball, and the Giants fell in love with him. That's why they're running to go see L.A. Wolf and say, hey, you guys are picking 3. Make sure you call us first if you're interested in Dylan to pick. They wanted it.
Meanwhile, Jaden Daniels, what did he say? I'm going to throw a touchdown, which is like it's a cute answer, but I don't know if he knows what's going on.
That's the excitement of Maye, and he does it in a Gronkowski type way. Like he feels like he's a football, like me excitable guy.
Yeah, he's got all the brothers.
That's cool. I got it. And I think his energy, his enthusiasm will be infectious with the team. And the hardest part they're going to have is if he looks better and you're losing games and he's not playing, that's where players start questioning things. They're not going to be able to fool the team. They can fool all of us. They can fool all our shows, all the broadcast partners, all that, all the fans. You can get fooled by it. You can't fool the other 52 guys in that room. If this ends up being like last year, defense is playing their ass off. And that defense is sick of Mac Jones turning the damn ball over, and they all became zappy guys because at least he went out there and battled his ass off and wouldn't have the critical turnover. They knew they at least had a chance. Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.